Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Gittin, Parak Tes, Chapter 9, Mishnah Vav, Mishnah 6. We're in the middle of it. Let's go. We need to review. We really need to review the first half in order to, be able to finish up the Mishnah. So let's just read through it. Shnei Gittin, Ksavin Zebet Sad Zeh, two Gittin, two whole texts of two separate divorces were written side by side on one paper. Ushnaim Edim Ivrim Boy Mitach Chazel Tachazeh. Two Hebrew-speaking witnesses are going from right to left, from under one to the other, where they have their first name, which is going from right to left under the first get, and then the second half, ben whatever, aid is going under the get to the left. Ushnaim Edim Yavanim Boy Mitach Chazel Tachazeh. And then you have two witnesses who are Greek-speaking, who are writing in Greek. They're going from under one to the other. They're starting from left to right, just like English. Okay? So we have two Hebrew witnesses first going from right to left. Then we have two Greek witnesses going from left to right. The Mishnah says, whichever get is written with the first witnesses is the kosher one. Okay, whichever witnesses were first, that's going to decide which one of the Gittin are valid. If you have the Hebrew side of witnesses at the beginning, they're going from right to left. To get to the right is going to be valid. If you have the Greek witnesses on top, they're going from left to right. To get to the left is going to be valid. What's the problem here? What's the problem with the other two on the bottom? So as we explained, the other two on the bottom, let's say in the case where the first two are written in Hebrew, right to left. The second ones are left to right. So we are concerned that perhaps what's happening here by the Greek witnesses is that they're supposed to be going to left. They're supposed to be going left to right. That's how you write in Greek. However, because the first witnesses or the previous witnesses signed from right to left, with their first names starting from right and then the farther left going to left, we think we're concerned that perhaps these witnesses are actually switching around the order of how to write their names. Meaning their first name should be on the left and the father's name to the right, but because the witnesses preceding them went from right to left, they're also going to be, although they're writing in Greek, they mean to go from right to left. They wrote it from right to left, which would, again, have their first name first and the father's name to the left, but that's not how you read Greek, right? You read Greek the other way around. And therefore, it comes out that we don't know those bottom witnesses. What are they signing on? Are they signing to the left or signing to the right? If they're signing to the right, that means we have four witnesses to the right and no witnesses to the left. But it's possible to have two witnesses on both. And if we would know both witnesses were going on both, the Hebrew ones are going to the right, the Greek ones going to the left, everything would be fine. And even though they're not directly under the get that they're signing to, that wouldn't be a problem. And whoever the first two witnesses are, whatever direction they're starting from, we're not concerned that, they're trying to flip it to be like the Greek ones. By the ones who start, they're the ones who we say, there's no reason for us to say they're switching it. It's the ones that follow afterwards that we're concerned that they're switching the order of their name. They're switching the order. They're writing their names out of order to conform with the other ones. That would be both whether the Hebrew witnesses are first or the Greek witnesses are first. And therefore, it's only the get that has the first witnesses signing under it is a kosher get, while the other one can't be kosher because we don't even know if it has any witnesses. Okay, that was yesterday's case. Now is today's case, which is similar, but just a little bit more complicated. So it goes like this. Eid echad. So we're again. Now we continue. Eid echad ivri, veid echad yavani. You have one witness signing in Hebrew, then you have another one signing in Greek. Eid echad ivri. So the first witness is Hebrew, the second witness is Greek. Eid echad ivri. You have one witness writing in Hebrew, which is again the third witness. Veid echad yavani, and one echad, and one aid, one witness, the fourth witness is in Greek. Boy mitach hazeh lazeh, and again, each one is going from one under the other. You've got the first part of their signature under one, and the second part under the other. It's going from one to the other. Basically, if you'd have the witnesses completely under one, you'd know exactly where they are. The problem here is that because they're going from one under the other, that is what creates this problem for us. So we say in this case, where you have, it's basically each one is going in a different direction, then we say Shneim Psulim. Both Gittin are now going to be invalid. Now, I don't know if you can see this picture of the diagram here, but this picture kind of really lays it out, this case pretty well. So what you have here is, right, you've got the Hebrew witnesses, right, Reuven ben Yaakov Eid, right, and then they have it in English because English and Greek works the same way, right? Then they have Yosef, son Shimon, witness, which is the same, again, the formation is the same. So again, what you have here is that you have the top witnesses are Hebrew, right? They're going from right to left, Reuven ben Yaakov Eid. And then you have the second witness, which you have in English, which works the same way as Greek, going from left to right. And it says, Yosef, son Shimon, witness. Because now in English, we wouldn't write it like that exactly. But in Greek, or at least in ancient Greek, they would have it in that kind of same formation. All right? And then the third witness is Hebrew. The fourth witness is Greek. All right? So in this case, our problem, we can't validate any of the Gittin. Why is that? So let's say we start from the first witness. The first witness is Hebrew. Reuven ben Yaakov Eid. He's going from right to left. All right. He's okay. No issues with him. But then we have the next witness. Yosef, son Shimon, witness. Now, we don't know if he means to be writing, if his name is Yosef, son Shimon, or maybe it's really Shimon, son Yosef, and even though in Greek he should be writing Shimon on the left side, because he wants to conform with the Hebrew witness that precedes him, he puts his first name under where the first name of the Hebrew witness is. So he's really means to write Shimon, son Yosef. Now, if he's really writing Shimon, son Yosef, which get is he signing under? The right one, right? Yeah. If his name is really Shimon, son Yosef, and I'm sorry. If it's right, I mean, his name is really Shimon, son Yosef, and his first name, and he's writing, and 1 second. Right. If his name is really Shimon, son Yosef, and this is not the right order in Greek, but he wants to follow the Hebrew order, then which get is he signing under? The right one, the same one as the Hebrew one, right? Your first name tells us which get you're trying to sign under. So if he decided to write, if his name is really Shimon son Yosef, and he decided to write it under the same form as the Hebrew witness, okay, so then, although in Greek we would have read it as Yosef son Shimon, but he really means Shimon son Yosef. That's what he really means. So he's writing, he's writing in Greek, but he's writing it backwards in the sense of that he wants to conform with the same, form of how the first witness signed. And his name was really Shimon son Yosef, and that's how he wrote it. He wrote it in Greek, but he wrote it as if it was Hebrew, okay, in the Hebrew order. Okay. At the same time, he still wrote witness in the same place. He still has witness at the end of his Greek signature. He doesn't have it before. He still have it as the end of his signature, because I guess the word witness is always at the end of a signature, but he still means to flip the order of the names. Okay, so that means that witness number 2 is really signing to the right, even though we would normally read his name from left to right, and he's signing under the left, but maybe he switched his name, he switched the order around, and he really is Shimon son Yosef, and he's signing to the right. Now you have Yehuda ben Yisrael Eid, the other Hebrew witness. What is he signing? Which direction is he going in? It's very possible he's going in the Hebrew direction, which means you got 3 witnesses to the top one. Now you got the fourth witness. The fourth witness is in Greek, and they have him here as Elazar son Aaron. Again, in Greek, it would read Elazar son Aaron. But because he wants to conform, so he's writing Aaron son. He really means Aaron son Elazar. And again, which one is he signing under? The right one. Which means you could possibly say here that no one signed under the left one. Now you could say that, but you can switch. You can switch this around if you want. You can play around with it, and you can play around and said, okay, the first one was in Hebrew, Reuven son Yaakov. All right, he's in Hebrew. He's writing under the right. Then you got the Greek guy, Yosef son Shimon. Okay, he's writing in Greek, and that's his name. His name is Yosef son Shimon. If that he's writing in Greek and that's actually his name, then which get is he signing under? The left. Now we get to the third guy, the Jewish guy, the guy writing in Hebrew. They're all Jewish. The Hebrew guy, right? Now, in Hebrew, you'd spell his name Yehuda ben Yisrael Aid, right? Yehuda, son of Yisrael. But maybe his name was really Yisrael, son Yehuda, and he's writing it out of order because he's conforming to how the Greek witness signed before. So he's conforming with him, and he really means to sign to the left. Now, you get the Greek guy, the fourth guy, the Greek guy, okay, and what is he signing under? All right, so he's probably signing well, we don't know what he's doing. He could be going back to, he could be signing in Greek, going on the left get, and maybe he's conforming to the guy before him who's signing in Hebrew, who he thinks, right, is going from right to left. And therefore, his name is really Aaron son of Elazar, and he's writing, and even though he's writing in Greek, he's putting it in, he means to really to do it in the same order as the Hebrew one. So whatever mixtures you want to make at the end, right, it's going to come out that it's possible that one of them don't have two witnesses, right? Each one of them may not have may have maybe at the most one witness, maybe no witnesses, and because of that, we can't allow any of the Gittin to be used, because we don't know exactly who the witnesses are signing on. You could possibly have the first witness signing in Hebrew going to the right. The next three are all Greek guys, right? Or that's what could be. I mean, there are other possibilities, but they could all three be Greek guys. Or you could have everybody following the Hebrew order, and everybody signing to the right, and no one signing to the left. But as I said, you could have one to the right and three to the left. So because of the fact that there are all these possibilities, therefore, in this case, both Gittin are puzzle. Neither one can be used.
Throw them all out and rewrite it.
That's what you're going to have to do at the end. Have a wonderful day.
And I get to the